What are the twin flame stages, if any? How many stages are there until union is reached? These are the questions asked me a lot, so I want to talk about what I consider the stages of twin flames. Remember that each set of twin flames are different, as each ego is different. How you and your twin manifest your relationship is completely different from how another set of twin egos do so. However, though there is not a prescribed set of stages that you will linearly go through in order to reach union, there are a few things that can help you determine whether you are in fact in a twin flame relationship. Please keep in mind that these are all signs after interacting with your twin in person and face to face. But before I get started, this is a requested video by one of you. If you have any topics that you would like me to cover, leave me a message down below and I will create content for you. And please don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons if this video resonates with you. Number 1, the meeting. If you've watched my video entitled Meeting Your Twin Flame, you'll know that it is a common misconception that whenever you meet your twin, you will automatically feel a sense of home. Not all twins like the other when they meet, though one is guaranteed to feel the pull immediately. The reason one may not like the other is because the 5D energy is having a hard time filtering through the 3D plane of ego. Meeting your twin is solidifying the energetic link in the 3D plane, and regardless of what feelings come up at this point, the 5D energy has always been linked. Now it's the ego's responsibility to catch up. This is the stage where mirroring is first introduced into the dialogue as well. Number 2, the Muse. Regardless of whether you felt the initial pull from your twin when you met or not, there is a guarantee that you will feel an absolute spike of creativity almost immediately after. This is the only stage in which you do not have to physically meet your twin to have the experience. Whether this is via writing poetry, music, creating fine art, singing, drawing, dancing, or anything that you feel to be creative, both twins will have the Muse stage directly after interacting with their twin. In fact, the runner may have it just by interacting with their twin prior to meeting them in person. What's happening in the Muse stage is that your energy is trying to release in any way possible, and creativity is the easiest way for it to do so. Number 3, the interjection. I call this stage the interjection because within the first month of meeting your twin face-to-face, universal higher self energy begins to break through the barrier of ego, but the ego isn't aware of it yet. This breakthrough creates random statements that you or your twin may make with no thought process behind them. Things like blurting out, "I love you," and being surprised by your own statement. Telling the other person that you're going to marry them someday without knowing why you feel it. Or the myriad of other egoically strange things that may just tumble out of your mouth. It is here where the 5D is interjecting into 3D reality. Number 4, the first separation. Within 2 months of meeting your twin in person, the first separation occurs. At first, it may seem like any other breakup, argument, fight, or ghosting. But within 48 hours, and for both twins, the feeling that something isn't quite right will hit like a brick wall. Something will feel off. Something will feel different. Something will make it feel like you are sinking, and it leads into the next 2 stages, which will be the crux of your entire twin flame journey until you transcend these stages and come into union. Number 5, the categorization. This will probably be a shock to you all, but it's not until the first separation that the categories of runner-chaser emerge. It's not simply the actions of chasing that make the chaser or not reaching out that make the runner. It's the feelings that create these titles. In the first separation, Both twins will be trying to cognitively figure out why they feel the way that they do, questioning everything they've gone through that's led them up to this point in their lives. And both twins will want the other back. But the feeling about the process is what separates the runner from the chaser. The runner will self-loathe and the chaser will begin to self-love when the next stage begins. Number 6, the beginning of true ego degradation, or dark night of the soul. I think I'm going to do a video on what we call the dark night of the soul, because there are actually a lot of problems with the concept when discussing ego degradation and what occurs with twin flames. But for a brief synopsis of the stage, it is when the ego truly begins to die, when we have what we call awakening. It is during this ego degradation, after the first separation between the twins, that the chaser is born, and the chaser will be the one who experiences it before their twin. It is within this ego degradation that the mind begins to freak out and obsess over what it can, perceived 3D reality, in order to hold on to control and not be demolished. Number 7, the reunion. The next stage is the reunion, and it is the most cataclysmically divine emotional and energetic feeling that you could possibly achieve. During the first reunion, the dynamic of runner-chaser gets even more ingrained. It is where the runner begins to be shown their lessons, and it is also where mirroring becomes oh so apparent. The twins realize they have the same core karmic lesson, and recognize that they have the same fears, deep desires, and that they have been drawn to one another their entire lives, possibly having missed each other in the same location because your higher self knew that your 3D ego was not ready to recognize yourself yet. And as the twins get closer and closer, the runner begins to feel the stirrings of fear. It first happens subconsciously, and then a full-blown panic attack of sorts, where they run and leave you both in the stage of separation again. The cycle of separation reunion may happen over and over and over again, or you may stay in separation for years upon years until you can transcend the ego. Number 8, the separation. The true test of a twin flame comes during the largest stage of separation. Yes, you will most likely feel abandoned, alone, rejected, isolated, neglected, and worthless. But within all of these sentiments begins to blossom something beautiful: self-love, self-compassion, self-acceptance, worthiness, recognition that you are the universe. It's found from self-reflection during the separation period, no matter what your twin is doing. If you begin to feel these things and this internal fire grows, you are so very close to controlling and overcoming your ego. Number 9, the submission. There will hopefully come a point in which both the runner and the chaser reach a stage of submission on or to the higher self. When the chaser finally stops chasing both in energy and physicality and realizes that it doesn't matter whether they are with their twin in the 3D, submission to the journey comes. And when the runner finally acknowledges that they no longer want to run because there is no escaping themselves, their ego degradation begins and submission to the journey comes. It is only through submission that twins can reach what is called union. Number 10, union. Union between twins is considered to be the end to separation. It is where the twins merge on both the 5D and 3D planes and live out their lives happily ever after with one another. However, in actuality, union with the twin is simply union with the self and a full recognition of universal energy, since everything, including your twin, is one. Though it is of course possible and plausible for you to be permanently with your twin flame in this incarnation on the 3D plane, the point of manifesting your twin in the first place was not so that you could give into ego and have a romantic relationship. The point was so that you could overcome ego, no matter how many emotions are present, and remember who you are. Therefore, Union occurs only after submission, when both or either party just is. Until next week, all of my best and highest vibrations to you.